Hello, I'm Wanda Cagle Gray. I'm presently running for the Bartow County Board of Education, District 4. And tonight I want to tell you a part of my life, and most of you probably already know it, that I love the Lord. And one of my favorite scriptures I want to share with you tonight is talking about leading the Israelites into the Promised Land. And y'all know the story of Moses, and I'm going to start at the end of Deuteronomy, and we're going to go into Joshua just a little bit. And I was going to tell you that Moses, of course, is a very strong man, but he disobeyed God, and isn't that typical of all of us? He loved the Lord with all his heart, but he disobeyed, and he didn't get a chance to lead the people in the Promised Land, but he saw the Promised Land. Well, did you know also that Moses is the only person that saw God face to face? Now think about that, people. Is that just not an awesome thought? The only person that ever saw God face to face. It's overwhelming to me to even think about that. But after Moses died, God went to Joshua, who was his assistant trying to lead the people in the Promised Land. And they had, the Israelites had been wandering for 40 years trying to find the Promised Land. Well, they were continually asking God, or whining, I would say, "Oh God, I'm hungry. Oh God, we need shelter. Oh God, it's too cold. Oh God, it's too hot." But God always supplied their needs. Moses went before him that always supplied all of their needs. Now think about this, people. In my life, God has always supplied all of my needs and the majority of my wants. He is a loving Father, and we disobey him from time to time, but he still loves us through it. Well, here's Joshua, and he goes, and I was going to read to you, starting out with Joshua 1, it said, after the death of Moses, the Lord's disciple, God spoke to Moses' assistant, whose name was Joshua, and he was the son of Nun. Now that my disciple is dead, speaking about Moses, you are going to be the new leader of Israel. Lead my people across the Jordan River into the Promised Land. Now think about leading, thousands and thousands of people into a new world for them, or a new land that God had promised you. I say to you what I said to Moses, wherever you go will be a part of the land of Israel, all the way from Lebanon to the Mediterranean Sea to the Euphrates River. No one will be able to oppose you as long as you live, for I will be with you just as I was with Moses. Now remember, these are promises. Everything in this book is a promise from the Lord. I will not abandon you. I will not fail you. He says in verse 6 of Joshua 1, "Be strong and brave, for you will be successful leader of my people, and they shall conquer all the land I promised to their ancestors." Let me go back and say this again. Be strong and be brave. And when I think of brave, I think of maybe not doing the popular thing, not going along with the crowd, being strong and brave. You will need only to be strong and courageous, and to obey to the letter every law Moses gave you. For if you are careful to obey every one of them, you will be successful in everything you do. Now think about that, people. If you obey God, you will be successful in everything you do. Constantly remind the people about these laws, and you yourself must think about them every day and every night, so that you will be sure to obey all of them. For only then you will succeed. Now here is one of my favorite of many, many verses throughout the Bible. But I commit this to memory, and when I get bent out of shape, when I get maybe a little bit on the don't know, uncertainty, should I or shouldn't I? Well, this is what God said to Joshua. Be strong, take courage, do not fear or be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you every step you take. Now let me apply this to my life and to your life. We don't need to be fearful. We do not need to get bent out of shape. We do not need to get stressed. For the promise from him says, he is with you every step you take. Now, he wants our obedience, and he wants us to lean on him through our faith. And he changed my life about 20 years ago. And since that time, I've never been the same. I look at life so differently than what I used to. And a verse like this is the one that keeps me going in those days when I just don't maybe see the happiest time. But he is with me, and he is with you every step you take.